pew. That's the sound that a lightsaber makes.
Yeah. Well, that's what I.
Vroom.
Vroom, vroom.
It's fifth period. The party's fifth period. Get headphones and hear it. Let me hit that barbico. Let me hit that barbico.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Fifth Period, the film podcast hosted by two media teachers, where today we are traveling back into a galaxy far, far away. So send out your distress calls, turn on your lightsabers, and kiss your aunt and uncle goodbye, because they're about to get crispy up in here. My name is Mr. Brown, and with me as always is...
Mr. Boylan. I don't know if I was trying to go some like
Bowie?
Ali Guinness, also known as David Bowie. It's Mr. Boylan, and I'm back.
Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Now, it is that time of year where we get a little loopy. That's all year round, really.
I was going to say that we do it once.
No.
There's a time?
It's extra hot.
It is quite toasty, though I will say I'm glad I'm not wearing a suede vest.
What are you talking about? It's breezy. It's got no sleeves. Feel the air coming in.
This is true. It's also that time of the year where it's your birthday.
It is that time of year. So exactly 1 year ago today, we did The Empire Strikes Back for the pod, and I was wearing a big birthday badge. We've upgraded our costumes since then.
Yep, badge to vest.
Different t-shirt.
Different t-shirt.
I thought you were going the Vader t-shirt.
No, so I've gone with, I wanted the logo front and present. I will.
You wanted to be...
Yeah, I'm exactly right. Real THX energy. But yeah, I mean, like, what better way to spend your birthday than just talking about Star Wars with me?
I love it. I certainly don't wish I had different plans. That's what I always say.
But every time he sees me, that's exactly what you say.
Yeah. It's not a coincidence that we're returning to the Star Wars franchise. This is our third entry in the Skywalker saga today. Did Revenge of the Sith 2 years ago with Wits, Empire Strikes Back a year ago with you, mate. And then today we are tackling A New Hope. But it's because my birthday falls around May 4th. So with a very special May the 4th be with you, we had a fun kind of Star Wars birthday club. There was a lot of people pretty enthusiastic about it.
Particularly vibing off our enthusiasm.
That's true. Anytime
Once
a new character
cheering,
came on board.
Woo! The Jawas, yeah!
It doesn't take much.
No, it really doesn't. Also, as well, it's good to know, but yeah, Empire Strikes Back was my first podcast, so it's a birthday of sorts for me too. It's crazy.
To be honest with you, that's more important.
Than your own birthday?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Look at you being self-deprecating. What are you doing? What act are you putting on?
If I get in early, then you won't do the deprecating for me.
Well played, sir.
Yeah.
Who shot first with the self-deprecating? Listen.
Bang, you're dead.
That's what Greedo says. That's what the translation is. Anyway, what are we talking about today, Mr. Brent?
Well, in addition to our main discussion of A New Hope, we are also going to be doing a Reader's Digest version of our holiday weekly watches.
Yep.
And we are also going to be playing a Star Wars themed movie mashups. So if you want to skip ahead to any of that, I will leave time codes in the description below.
Welcome back to the Fifth Period podcast. I'm Sharky and we're talking about Star Wars Episode 4, A New Hope.
And do you like Star Wars, Sharky?
I love Star Wars, sir.
Yeah! A big thank you to Sharky. Now, this is probably one of our longest running jokes on the pod.
It's a good one.
2 years ago now, we did Revenge of the Sith, and Sharky is one of these students that no matter how often we talk about Star Wars, or even if we've done Star Wars the week before, he will always request Star Wars as a film for Film Club.
Yep.
And when it came around to actually doing Revenge of the Sith, he had already done his intro to the pod. So we got a separate soundbite of him just saying, hey, it's Sharky and I love Star Wars. And anytime Whittle got too negative with talking Revenge of the Sith.
I think a couple of times.
Yeah. Just a few. That soundbite would play. So it has been played to death, but I mean, we got to do it one more time.
We got to do it.
Hey, it's Sharky again. I love Star Wars.
Yeah, you do. So for your continued enthusiasm to Star Wars, Sharky, thank you very much. It was lovely to have you back. He's a busy man these days. We don't see him as often at Film Club.
He's a man about town.
But it was a delight to have him back. So thanks heaps, mate.
Much appreciated, Sharky. May the force be with you always.
Nice. And also with you. Alrighty, let us jump in to episode 4, A New Hope, or as it was originally tiled.
Tiled.
Oh my
They
goodness.
put it in big tiles. George Lucas, we watched the film in tiles, not even in a cinema. But it's just called Star Wars.
What's called Star Wars?
Because it
Just
wasn't
like a
gonna-
t-shirt,
just like the bloody t-shirt.
But unfortunately, we're not visiting the original version, the 1977 version. You and I both watched the Disney Plus version.
Yes.
And while I will say it was really nice to see a high resolution
Very
version,
crispy.
this is
Like
usually...
Owen and Baru. It was very crispy.
That's it. I usually return to that box set when I'm watching my Star Wars films, so...
That's not my... I do have that box set, but it's not my go-to box set.
Oh.
This is my go-to box set.
Do I have to Photoshop it in? Oh, man.
I just like creating it. Happy birthday to you.
Thanks.
Here's
Thanks,
more
man.
work for you. But yeah, it's a nice looking Blu-ray set.
Your one?
Yes.
Oh, beautiful.
It's a nice
So
looking one.
the Disney version probably wasn't that much more high res for you.
No, not too much.
I
haven't got myself a
believe
large
the
4K
detail.
version. There's some stuff in there that is looking really good.
It was the scratches on the helmets when you see the
Just a bit of more
stormtroopers
fine
and Vader.
detail. Yeah.
Yeah. But what also comes with a nicer looking version is a lot of new CGI effects.
The old
and
special edition.
I'm sure we're going to mention a few along the way, but yeah, it's very, very disappointing. I do have an older version of the film before that. It was sort of like a re-release cut. But unfortunately, the quality isn't as schmick. If we could get a nice balance between the two, that'd be
Incredible.
perfect.
Just like leave the weird special editions out because some of them just don't need to be there. They don't really add much. Some do, and I do understand some of them. But particularly the ones that offer no narrative addition and is just include an addition as in terms of an eyesore, it makes it a bit of a hard watch in particular places, particularly in Mos Eisley. But anyway, we'll get there.
We will get there.
But we can't get to Mos Eisley and we can't get to Star Wars without the iconic, text that comes on the screen and letting us know that it's taking place in a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. The first time that anyone would ever see this come on the screen and then bang, the logo.
The crawl,
crawl.
we've talked about the crawl in a lot of detail in the previous 2 entries to
Yes.
this series, but one thing that I appreciate about this one is it's not too much information.
No, it's quite succinct.
Yeah, which they lose a bit of that later on.
Palpatine has returned.
Yeah. Oh gosh.
Sorry,
I don't want to talk about
sorry.
it. I don't want to talk about it. But once the crawl has gone through, I love how ominous the Imperial Destroyer is coming through, like how big it is and how long it takes to kind of pass by.
And particularly because it makes it feel like it's going over you as an audience member.
I can't
Excellent.
see that though without thinking of Spaceballs. We break for nobody.
Yeah, very,
So
very
good.
good. Straight into battle.
Yeah, and we get some dorky rebel outfits.
Oh, yeah, we do. With some big old dorky helmet.
They look
hat
like they're wearing like
things.
soup bowls on their head.
Yeah, it's interesting. But yeah, the Tantive IV or the Tantive 4, if we're getting Roman numeral about it, is being pursued by a little big old Star Destroyer. Stormtroopers and rebels battle it out in a bit of a shootout, and when the smoke clears, who do we get? But probably the most famous villain in all of pop culture, Jar Jar Binks. No, Darth Vader walks into the spaceship and... goddamn, what a moment. What an intro to a character.
Yeah, well, especially for us. This was a big old cheer.
Oh,
People went
yes.
nuts in film club.
Big
for this
Vader
one.
fans. Big Vader
Love
fans.
it. I mean, who amongst us isn't?
True.
Even if he is missing his lightsaber.
That's okay.
He can use the
there,
Force.
It's there in spirit. Kind of just looks like Obi-Wan there is just going like this.
Hey, Vader! Long time no see, mate.
Ah!
Having a Gaz.
Classic Alec Guinness line.
I forgot how, like, I knew C-3PO was quite jokey and comical. I forgot how sassy he is.
Oh, it's a real sassy
He's a
protocol
sassy
droid.
droid.
A very sassy protocol droid. Probably speaks German too.
Yeah, well, not as sassy as R2 though. And what I really appreciate about R2 is with such limited movement, and he gets probably more physically expressive as the films go on because
Yes.
they can kind of animate things around him. They can build more complex machines. But in this one, he can literally swivel his head and roll. That's pretty much what he can do at this
And
stage.
like a little bit of...
And he still is super sassy. At one point, C-3PO is chatting to him, and he just kind of turns his head and then turns away. And I'm like, whoa,
I feel that.
cold-blooded.
I feel that.
So Leia passes on a message, special instructions on a weakness for the Imperial big bad weapon, the Death Star. Instantly, R2's on a mission. He doesn't loop old C-3PO into it because
He's like, nah, I'm getting on the escape pod.
too much time. Too much time.
What mission? And it's like, nah, we're going. And then, blaster bolts fly. And Princess Leia's got to, my work here is done. And now she's got to basically cop getting captured, essentially.
Yeah, so Vader's choking out that guy, and he's not even using the Force to do it.
Nah,
he's using his hands. I even said to you, that's like a baby's toy. Use the Force, man. That's what it's there for.
You mean you have to use your hands? That's like a baby's toy.
His voice was a little higher than
Vader.
Yeah, and I think he kind of
Less
settles
resonance.
into it a little bit. It's that first introduction to his character. It just does seem a little higher pitched, and it reminded me of the fact that originally it was a different voice, and the actual guy who does all the movements for Darth Vader read all of the lines and didn't realize he was going to be overdubbed. But if you go back to it, it is so funny to listen to that original voice.
You are part of the Rebel Alliance and a traitor. Take her away.
It's different.
It's like, my glasses. It's Rick Moranis.
From Darth Vader.
I can't breathe in this thing. But Leia, they really alternate in this film. So
yeah.
I feel like we can alternate.
I think
too.
we can. Who? Leia. And Princess Leia, because she's lying to Vader about the fact that, you know what? No, we're just like a chill, like, we're on a diplomatic mission from Alden. It's like, no, you're part of the Rebel Alliance, sister.
Classic Vader.
But one of my favorite bits is like when Leia goes across to meet, like she's brought to Vader. He's like, Darth Vader, only you could be so bold. At the same time, Vader puts his hands on his hips. Is like, sassy Darth Vader. What's some of his sassy
He only puts
characters?
one hand on his hip. The other one's up here for clicking.
Just force clicks. That's what he's doing.
And they realize that an escape pod has been jettisoned.
They've landed on Tatooine.
They have, and they immediately split.
Yeah, C-3PO
As does the
cracked it.
screen, because we get some fun transition wipes here.
Oh, it felt like I was watching a Year 7 use Premiere Pro. It's like I'm going to put down like 20,000 wipes.
I think the one in particular, it's like right at the end when they are cutting to like the Rebel base before the final fight. They do like a diamond wipe. Incredible.
Some of them is.
Again, another thing that gets parodied in Spaceballs. Nice dissolve.
Basically, then what happens is after our two droids have got separated, 3PO's sort of cracked it, and then he's like, he thinks he's getting picked up over here. The dialogue's great. He gets picked up by Jawas, and then R2's basically, he gets rolled by them like it's like a shootout in like an LA street.
So it's the first time I've ever wondered this while I was watching it.
Yeah.
What is the point of them splitting up? We see them separated for one scene, and then they're
It always felt
immediately
longer in my head.
reunited. Yeah, it's so wild.
Houdini to that.
Houdini?
Yeah, that's what the Jawas say. Houdini.
Oh, of course.
My favorite quote from Star Wars.
Yeah. Then we get some pointless CG with some stormtroopers riding that weird beast in the sand.
It's like a dewback or something like that. They're the sand troopers, so they've
It's
got
an
like an
eyesore.
interesting paddle sort of on there. But yeah, after a big separation, C-3PO was enthralled to see that R2 and him are on the same sandcrawler. But the droids get sold, and here comes Lukey Skywalker.
Yeah, we meet Uncle Owen, Aunt Beru, and our protagonist, Luke Skywalker, the original whiny Jedi. Everyone thinks Hayden Christensen was whiny, but
Goddamn.
Luke got there first.
Luke loves a wine.
I was going to go to Tashi Station, pick up some power converters.
It's R2, you didn't have the bad motivator, look!
In a bit of a stroke of luck, C-3PO is sold off, and they're originally going to get one of the red R2 units, but he blows a bloody fuse.
Bloody gasket.
So R2 is taken instead.
Yes, and yeah, it's a good introduction to whiny Mark Hamill. It's great. We love Mark Hamill.
We do love Mark
good.
Hamill. So pretty quickly, C-3PO starts to get in their nerves. I reckon it's within a minute of them purchasing him, and both Uncle Owen and Luke tell him to shut up.
Yeah.
So Uncle Owen actually says the word "shut up," and Luke's just like, "All right, that's enough."
Yeah, it's like, my name is C-3PO, Human Cyborg Relations. This is my counterpart, R2-D2. And he's like, cool, man, whatever. I don't need to know your names. All I need to know is that can you listen to me have a whinge? Because they both just have a whinge to each other. And then no wonder R2 books it.
He does. So Luke accidentally, maybe part of it's on purpose, so that R2, like, I never realized how strategic R2 is.
He's a smart little cookie.
He basically tricks Luke into removing the, it's like a bolt.
Yeah.
And it keeps them in the area.
Correct.
So it's pretty cool. Like, he plays him part of the distress call. Help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi, you're my only hope.
Iconic.
And then says, maybe I'll be able to play all of it if you remove my bolt. Takes it off and then books it. Legs it without legs.
And then the calm
rolls it.
You see me rolling the Hayden. We get the classic introduction of iconic Star Wars paraphernalia. We get blue milk.
Blue milk?
Bloody
Oh my
blue
gosh.
I had blue milk in Galaxy's Edge.
Did you?
Yeah, it was pretty good.
Does it just taste like normal milk?
Nah, it's kind of like it's almost like a coconut tropical flavor. It's more of like a smoothie vibe. Obviously, we're getting this frustration that Luke is, someone who's being hampered by the expectations put on by his family to be a farmer. But really, you can see him wanting more, quite literally looking out at the twin suns in probably one of the best, most iconic shots in Star Wars.
Beautiful shot.
It looks gorgeous.
It really does,
and
especially
the
in that high def.
score as well. Oh.
You also get the context of how protective his uncle and aunt are over him. And yeah, again, he's just whiny. He's like, no, I wish you'd burn to a crisp.
Oh, why? No, well, just you wait, Luke.
He's going to regret saying that. Woo!
Oh my God.
But,
I made my family disappear. Wahoo! Except it's the Wahoo, but it's just the R2 going, wow!
We're going to get to that pretty soon.
That is pretty good.
So R2 has made a run for it.
He's rolled it, as we said. And he's trying to find old Obi-Wan. He's like, I
wonder if he means old Ben Kenobi.
Old Obi-Wan. But yeah, Luke and 3PO in pursuit, but they're attacked by the old sand people, the Tusken Raiders.
These were terrifying characters when I was a kid.
I remember
the
that
sound they made, I didn't know what that was going to sound like. It wasn't so bad.
We did it.
As long as we merge them together, it's like, who's responsible for what?
This guy.
Flawless.
This guy.
Flawless.
But so they're about to. Well, basically, Luke gets knocked down, and they're.
The land speeder though.
Oh,
how
great.
good does that look with just a mirror covering the wheels?
I think it looks all right.
It's a good optical illusion. Like, it's hard to talk about the practical effects in the version that we watch though, because even though originally it was a mirror, they probably have gone back and tweaked it. Yeah. But still, let's just say it's awesome and it's all practical effects.
I enjoyed having I had a big land speeder toy that I used.
Oh, did you? Nice. Great. I've brought in quite a lot of my catalog.
Yeah, I couldn't find anything sort of at hand, but take my word for it. I'll talk about some of the things that I've got, and I'm going to have so many images for this guy to put in this video.
Oh, this guy.
It's great. This guy. But, thankfully, they're going to get rescued by Ben, who's also doing the
Tobey Maguire. Woo!
Or the wow from Home Alone. He's impersonating the sound of a crate dragon.
Yeah.
And then we get the iconic line.
Hello there.
Thank you.
Sorry.
Thanks,
I was like, what are you asking me for? Oh, of course.
David Bowie.
This is the most pointless CGI add-in. So I think a lot of the other CGI add-ins suck, but this one is so pointless. They Photoshop rocks in front of where R2-D2 is hiding out in the cave. If those rocks are there, he can't even get into that space.
Make it make sense, George Lucas, you bastard.
You bastard.
We love you for creating this incredible franchise, but you made some silly decisions after that. But
He did.
Okay.
But just how friggin' charming is Alec Guinness?
He's got. I wrote Alec Guinness has aura, and he really
He
does.
does. Well, of course I know him.
He's me.
You should have figured that out. It's pretty obvious.
We've got the same name. You idiots.
So he takes him back because it's dangerous to stick around. The Sand People will be back. They're easily startled, but they'll be back. And in greater numbers.
Yeah, that'll bring out the harmony section really well. Oh, yeah, we're going to sound great.
So it takes him back to his little cave, his little hideout place.
And fills him in on Luke's dad in the Clone Wars, and
Says he was a Jedi Knight, and they were also good friends.
good mates.
And also presents
one of the
him-
finest starfighter pilots in in the galaxy. So
Yeah.
that was almost a bit Palpatine, actually. But yeah, then he presents
Him with a Cristal beer.
It's so good.
All right, so explain it. I'll put a clip in, but
Basically, what they used to do, so I think it was on Brazilian broadcast, basically, of the Star Wars movies, to, because we would have ad breaks in between when we watched our movies, as everyone is very aware of when we watch something from ClickView. But they basically blended the ads into the movie. So the first one that they do is, there might be an early one in the film, but one of the best ones is Obi-Wan reaching into like a box of some descript to get Anakin's lightsaber. But instead of that, he reaches into an esky to pull out a stubby of a beer.
Good.
It's just incredible. Some of the other ones are just so egregiously bad and like not seamless at all.
I love it.
It's so funny though.
It's really good.
so funny.
But of course he actually gives him his dad's lightsaber, and even though there's that kind of clunky jump cut, anytime there's kind of a blaster or a lightsaber, there's a jump cut. But it's very cool when he first takes it out.
And the sound design and everything. It's just fantastic.
First time seeing a lightsaber.
Iconic.
It really is.
And we find out as well that Darth Vader killed Luke's father.
Yeah,
and killed
betrayed and murdered him.
the rest of the Jedi, and learning about the Force as well. So it's all...
No
Alec
mention
Guinness
of metachlorians, though. What's that about?
We'll get there.
I hope we won't.
Maybe one day. I look forward to doing the Phantom Menace. But no, learning about the Force, then we get sort of full expo Alec Guinness, but then we also finally get the full message from Leia.
Yeah, he was just being a tease with Luke, but now that Obi-Wan's there.
Or Ben Kenobi.
Kenobi.
They're different characters.
Sorry.
Close enough, Ben, you'll do.
Plays the full message and basically finds out that it is in fact plans to destroy the Death Star and that they need to take it to her father on Alderaan.
On Alderaan.
And he doesn't waste any time. Immediately he's like, Luke, you're coming with me. You're made for this.
And he's like, oh, okay.
So whiny. I can't get involved. I got work to do. Oh, and it's so far away.
It's like, Alec Guinness should have been like, okay, suit yourself. Bye. On the Death Star. Peter Cushing as Grand Moff Tarkin. And he is so brilliant.
He's got gravitas.
He really, really does. I think that's one thing that we get across like a lot of the early films, particularly this first one, is that it's a real presence of dramatic actors, and they really carry this weight in their delivery of dialogue and their presence on screen. And even so to the point where like Carrie Fisher as Princess Leia she had a really good sort of rapport and relationship with Peter Cushing, who was apparently very charming and nice to get along with.
The banter between them.
They're just going back and forth.
Heating up. Hotter than Tatooine up in that Death Star.
Apparently, though, there's the wide shot of Tarkin is the only time we see him like head to toe. And apparently the outside of that, because whatever shoes he had to wear weren't very comfortable. So then apparently in the rest of the shot, he was just wearing like fluffy slippers.
Oh,
so
I love that.
So then Carrie Fisher couldn't really concentrate because he's wearing fluffy slippers while trying to introduce himself as this, like a secondary antagonist in the film. So, really, really good fun. I find your lack of faith disturbing.
Nothing better than watching Vader choke out some absolute sniveling, pompous a-hole. Am I right?
I apologize. This is not when Leia meets Tarkin. This is just when Tarkin's in the meeting room, basically just having.
The flirty banter's later.
Flirty banter's later. I've got too excited about the fluffy slippers.
I know, but that's okay, man.
But yeah, this is very much like other sort of Imperials. You can kind of tell that like Tarkin is a little bit closer with Vader, and the other ones like kind of don't believe in the Force and sort of everything, which is kind of weird because I'm like, You've sort of met this guy, surely. But yeah.
Yeah, but it's interesting because he doesn't necessarily read as their boss.
Vader?
Yeah.
No, he doesn't.
Yeah, so...
He's very much like, I work for the Emperor. He's the middleman.
Exactly right, yeah. But back on Tatooine, seeking out the droids, the stormtroopers have attacked the Jawa transport.
Yes, and these blaster points are too accurate for sand people.
I wrote the exact same note. never have the stormtroopers been referred to as accurate after this point in time.
No, never.
They are the lousiest shots in the world. They're not even accurate at walking, donking their heads.
It's literally like a thing. Stormtrooper aim is like a colloquial language to talk about someone misfiring. But they put it together. Obviously, they've tracked the Jawas, then they would track
They may
the
have
droids.
learned who they sold it to, and that would have left them
home. Oh, Luke, it's too dangerous. Don't worry, the danger's gone because the stormtroopers have been and gone.
Yes.
Your parents are dead. You've got nothing to live for, and go. But yeah, so Owen and Beru, along with the rest of Luke's harem, has been absolutely vaporized. We've got nice, crispy-looking
BB
skeletons.
I forgot how graphic it was.
Oh yeah, it doesn't like shy away from the fact that like
When it's
all
in
they
HD,
did-
you're like, woo,
They-
those are
they-
some crispy collapses.
They did.
Have
And-
you seen the fan-made action figures of...
Yeah, I think you showed me. It was good.
Very funny. I'll put it on the screen.
Basically, like Luke's like, well, I have to go with you now because I've got nothing else here for me. Great shot of like sort of the long shot of him sort of standing in front of his home with like the smoke billowing out. Looks awesome. There's some really, really awesome cinematography in this first movie.
Another thing I forgot, though, when he returns to the others, I do not remember C-3PO piling up and burning Jawa bodies.
I can't remember that either. There you go.
Yeah, it's crazy. So dark.
Very
so dark.
So,
But
The
he
New
obviously
Hope
wants to
hasn't
go
arrived.
with Obi-Wan now. And I love it because Obi-Wan's now like, oh no, what a shame. Oh well,
I'm
moving
going
on.
to train you in the Force. Let's go. But yeah, Luke joins Obi-Wan and they travel to where you'll never find a more wretched hive of
Mos
scum
Eisley.
and villainy.
Oh, I love that line, but I also love, as he's saying it, Mark Hamill's like grinning.
It's like, hell yeah.
Yeah, scum
I
and
love
villainy.
scum and villainy.
Woo!
I'm wretched too. And
And-
then we get Welcome to the Special Edition. Because goddamn,
Just atrocious. It pulls you out of the
it
scene.
really does.
There's a couple where they have added the effects to it, and then there's other shots where they've just put different scenery shots in, and you're like, you don't need it.
Like, I don't
Just
need that
skip it.
creature there. Like, we don't need to go back and look at... And like, we get a lot of Mos Eisley, like, pretty quickly after this anyway. So, yeah, it really doesn't add anything outside of the fact that, yeah, it takes you away and takes you out of what you're experiencing in what's already, like, a really well, like, physically dressed set.
Agreed. It's such a shame. Such a shame. But we get to see some Jedi mind tricks.
We do.
These are not the droids you're looking for.
Yes. Move along.
Move along.
And then we get into the cantina. We obviously get... Yes, the iconic Cantina Band song. We get that, and then of course we get to meet our favourite two characters,
Bloody pig face.
Ponda Baba and Dr. Evazan.
I love that Luke says, I'm ready for anything. And then he's instantly not
Like,
ready to be accosted.
He's
by
like,
this.
what the hell is this?
My friend doesn't like you.
Okay.
I don't like you either. C-3PO said that line
Earlier.
Well, I don't like you either. They do a lot of repetition of lines. We
They
get a
do.
double, I got a bad feeling about this.
Yes, just to really ram home that
There's some
One
bad
character
feelings
that's-
going around.
so many bad feelings, but Obi-Wan steps in and...
Well, bam, he says.
Yeah, really quickly with the saber. Originally, I was like, oh, he shot them because it sort of had like the lightsaber sort of like looking out sort of like horizontally. And I was like, oh, okay. He just shot them with his lightsaber because that's not how the Force works. But yeah, he's clearly just went and chopped Ponda Baba's arm off.
He did.
It's pretty graphic too.
Yeah, I love it though.
I highly enjoy it.
We meet Chewie and Han, and I'm going to be honest, I was watching it by myself last night, and I still cheered. I was so happy to see Harrison Ford.
What an introduction. What a character. What an actor.
He's just so like chilled and leaning back.
Just like you are.
Just like me.
Just a chill guy.
Bang, you're dead.
That's what he says.
But my favorite part about this is obviously his smugness comes in straight away, but Luke trying to like one-up him is so great. You are so out of your depth, Luke.
It's like-
Everything that you have seen so far, you are not prepared for this.
It's like he's trying to impress the older brother.
Yes,
That's the
that's
vibe.
exactly what it's like. And Obi-Wan's just like, shut up, be cool, man. Be cool.
You're not being cool.
not being
You're
cool.
blowing this for us. It was really interesting that like Harrison Ford was going to be like a reading partner for the movie, and then Lucas was like, no, I think he can do more than that. And yeah, like I mean, this is where Harrison Ford's career launched. Obviously, had been in American Graffiti.
Yep.
Before, which was what Lucas was working on.
Lucas
it came
didn't
out
want to
40 years.
reuse actors, and that's why he was so hesitant again casting Ford in Indiana Jones. But He's too damn good.
He's just that damn good at playing two of the most iconic characters in popular culture. So
they agree on a price, 10,000.
Yep.
10,000 space bucks.
Space buckarookies.
And they're going to sell off the speeder and meet Han at the hangar.
Yes, but why does Han need money?
Why does he need money? Well, because he owes it to Jabba the Hutt.
Yep.
Pizza the Hutt. And he gets stopped by one of his henchmen, Greedo. And this is probably one of the most controversial re-edits of the film.
Who shot first?
Han shot first. A famous expression. I was debating, do I dress as Han or do I wear my Han shot first t-shirt? It's been re-edited a few different times. Essentially, George Lucas wanted people to look more favorably on Han, so they re-edited it so Greedo shot at him first and he misses and shoots back. I think they've done a third version where they almost shoot at the same time and you see Han's head go poof to dodge it. It's real weird, but why would you try and make him more favorable? The best thing about Han is that he's a scoundrel.
He's a dirtbag. He's a scruffy looking
nerf herder.
But he runs into Jabba on the way to the Falcon.
He does. Another re-edit that's not my favorite.
No, and then we get Boba Fett digitally inserted in the background.
The big digital insertion is Jabba as well.
Yeah.
We just don't need this scene. So originally, again, in 1977, this was a deleted scene. It wasn't required in the movie because we got enough context from the discussion with Greedo that...
It's a pretty lengthy chat that two characters have. So.
Yeah, it really is. And we get all the information you need. So they did do it as a deleted scene with a guy standing in. Mm-hmm. He even refers to him. He said, "You're a wonderful human being." He says that to someone who's clearly not a human being now.
You're in Star Wars, Harrison Ford. What are you saying?
Yeah, it's janky, but perhaps the jankiest part of it is that he walks around the guy in the original scene. And because Jabba the Hutt has a big fat tail, he has to step on top of him and then Jabba screams out. It's all weird. It's janky and a half. They should have just left the scene out.
Yep. But thankfully, we get a bit more of a pleasurable thing to look at, and that is the introduction of the Millennium Falcon, one of the most iconic vehicles in pop culture.
It's a piece of junk.
Yeah.
It's a great looking ship. I don't know why everyone gives it such a hard time.
It's cool. It's got character. It's got charm to it.
Ooh, you bet it does.
And it's got pace.
Before they leave, though, the stormtroopers are going around looking for the droids, and they go behind a door and they lock it, and then the droids are like, "It's locked. Move along." Wouldn't a locked door be the most likely place for them to be hiding behind?
Probably, but we've established that stormtroopers are idiots. So.
Yeah, jeez.
But yeah, they basically get information from a little spy sort of character. It's a part of the scum and villainy that's in Tatooine, and they track down the gang at the hangar, and then a quick little shootout ensues. But Luke's able to escape with Han, with Chewie.
A quick little shootout on the ground, and then quick little shootout in the sky.
Exactly. It happens all very, very quickly, and they punch it to hyperspace.
Yep.
They hit the hyperdrive, and then they're off and racing. And then this is where we get Leia on the Death Star.
Some flirty Tarkin and Leia, or Leia as he says. It's all over the place.
Leia.
But the banter is off the charts.
They fire back and forth.
Tarkin, I should have expected to find you holding Vader's leash.
Have you seen the bad lip reading of those two? Oh, it's very good. I'll track in a clip.
Boy, you don't got a clue. Girl, you're crazy cute.
He threatens Alderaan, her home planet, unless she gives up the rebel base. And so she pretends it's Dantooine.
Yes.
Which actually, my understanding is that was their old base, but they've moved along because they moved along. Because they mentioned that they found remnants of the rebels.
But no one's been there for ages.
Yeah.
But Tarkin's like, okay, cool. You may fire when ready.
Ooh.
And
I love that face. You may fire when ready. Ooh.
What?
Yeah.
That's what Leia says.
What?
He's like, well, I'm still making the call anyway. Because Dantooine's too far away.
Fooled you.
That is what he says. Blows up Alderaan. Looks really cool.
It really does.
And then Obi-Wan feels it, the disturbance in the Force.
I love how he plays this. He doesn't overplay it. It's quite understated, but he just sort of leans over and grabs it.
And then he's like, damn it. I left the stove on. Bugger. Oh.
Going to be burnt to a crisp when I get back. It's going to be as bad as Uncle Owen and Aunt Beru.
Oh my God. And then he thinks, God, tell you what I really need? a crystal.
No, they're all going to be burnt to a crisp too. Oh dear. So Luke is doing a bit of training here. Training and
is.
quipping. Han's coming in. It's all good fun.
Chewie and R2 are playing Deseric.
I told you I could outrun him. Don't everybody thank me at once.
So good. I love that, like, when Han's describing, like, they're talking about the game and stuff like that, and it's just like, yeah, the droid's, like, not going to, like, rip your arms off at your sockets. And then it cuts back to Chewie, and Chewie's just like, shit, who we talking about me? I don't rip people's arms off. I'm not crazy. Shit, I'm just Chewbacca the Wookiee. But yeah, we get the training with the remote, which is great.
Yeah, so I got a question for you. That blast shield thing that comes down, what is that for under any other circumstance? When do you ever need to be completely blinded when you're wearing a helmet?
And Han's going to have a kip.
Yeah.
I'm going to sleep.
It's pretty cool when he's like,
Yeah.
I even love the like little sound effect.
Yeah, Han doesn't believe in the Force.
And I like that. That's a good element. Like, it's a religion, so you're going to have your skepties.
Yes, you skeppies.
Your skeppies, as they call it. But yeah, it's just like it's a nice dynamic. We get everyone's motives are different. Obviously, Han is very selfish. He's after money.
He's the mercenary's mercenary.
Obi-Wan's is more personal, but Luke's got a bit of like just a sense of adventure at this point. He is obviously upset about Uncle Owen and Aunt Beru, but we knew he was in search of this. He was longing for something
more.
Yeah, we get kind of a lot of different motivations between the group, and I think it's a nice balance as well.
I think so,
a balance
too.
in the Force, if you will.
Indeed. They find out that basically, as you said earlier, that the rebel base on Dantooine has been abandoned for ages, and Tarkin, she lied. And yeah, basically Terminator immediately, and the guys arrive out of hyperspace to find
Whoa.
Alderaan's gone. Okay, and
It's out of gone.
Good. And then they are basically intercepted by a TIE fighter, and they're wondering, well, how's a single man fighter? What's they doing so deep out in space? What's happening here?
And he basically lures him. It's a honey trap.
Admiral Akbar's getting in early. But no, that's no moon. That's a space station.
I think you're right.
That's a funky space station that plays disco music on 88.9 The Empire.
Space station. I see what you did.
That's a funky reference.
But before they can turn back, they get sucked into the tractor beam.
The old tractor beam, and then
it looks awesome, that shot when the when the Millennium Falcon just enters it. It's so good. Like, it fills up so much of the screen.
It's very cool.
Really, really cool. They search the ship but find nothing because it's a smuggler ship. Lots of places to hide.
All the compartments and the floors, they hide out there.
And then, hey, can you give us a hand with this?
And then just pew, 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 pew. No one heard that. It was fun.
Yeah, he's not very subtle.
No, he's not. I mean, Luke makes a reference to this.
Just to make a reference to Chewie.
Basically, yeah. And then as this is all happening, when the Falcon, they're all hiding out, Vader does sense a presence. I haven't felt since... And then just walks away. And all the Imperials like, since what? We're waiting, Vader!
He's a showman. He likes to keep on the edge of their seats.
Bugger.
So they steal some stormtrooper uniforms. They get R2 to hack in to find where the power source is for the tractor beams.
One thing I didn't notice before, and this is great, is like when they're basically trying to work out their plan as they're still in the Falcon, basically getting out of the smuggling compartments. Obi-Wan's like, I don't know who's more foolish, the fool or the fool who follows him. And then just as that happens, Chewie pokes his head out of like the floor. I'm like, great, good stuff. But yeah, they're still the troopers. Uniforms. And they have a plan to basically use Chewie as like they're taking him prisoner because they work out that Leia's there on the ship.
Yeah,
on the Death Star.
They're going to divide and conquer. So Obi-Wan's going to turn off the tractor beam.
Yep.
The tracky beam, as they call it.
Tracky beamy.
So that they can get out. And,
so he can get another beer.
Yeah. And then Luke and Han are going to go get Leia. So originally Han's a little reluctant.
Yeah, but how does he convince Mr. Brown? Money. Because he's a mercenary. He is a mercenary.
Says more wealth than you could possibly imagine. I don't know. I can imagine quite a bit.
He wants to get paid.
He wants to get paid. Money.
Money.
So it's a bit of a messy plan. They decide they're going to go to the detention level and just shoot it all up.
But yeah, they arrive in the detention area and they're just like, oh yeah, we're from bloody cell block bloody 1138. Who are you guys? And I didn't approve this transfer. And it's like, oh, he's loose.
Bang, bang,
They
you're
just start
dead.
shooting everyone, and they shoot all the cameras as well. So I had a really
People immediately check in on them.
yeah. And Han's like having a chat with the other guys, just like, I'm fine. How are you?
The flamboyant voice. Everything under control here.
We're fine. We're all fine here now. Thank you. How are you?
Luke rescues Leia, and she's got her sassy pants on today.
A little
Aren't you
short for a stormtrooper.
Huh?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
The
the
helmet.
stormtrooper outfit that I'm
Oh,
wearing.
that I'd been wearing.
Idiot.
But yeah, we get the shootout in the cell block. Banter's starting with Han and Leia almost straight off the cuff.
Incredible.
Wonderful girl. Sure, I'm gonna kill her, or I'm beginning to like her.
It's
Into
so
the garbage
ridiculous.
chute, fly boys.
She's like, what a really wonderful idea.
All the
And what an
banter,
incredible smell you found.
all of the banter here is really, really top notch. And then to break it all up, the Dianonga or the Dianoga, whatever you want to call it, attacks this like tentacly creature that's in the
I've
water.
never thought about this before, but why is there a creature in the trash compactor?
Just attracted to rubbish, you know. That's what happens.
All right.
Anyway, play on. It's all very, very cool. The fact that, you know, Luke gets sort of like taken underwater, very like horror movie.
I love how clumsy it is. Luke! He's just like looking for him and then whoops, slips out again.
There he is.
Shooting around all over the place.
And yeah, they're going to get crushed basically by the trash compactor. And yeah, this is what like, so Mark Hamill had to hold his breath for so long during this like whole scene. I think massively when he got underwater, he broke a blood vessel in his face. So all the shots are from one side only.
Ah, yeah, I did not know that.
There you go. Well, basically the only people who can save them. Who is it? See, it's not people, it's droids.
Yeah, but he's too busy giving everyone up. Oh, they've gone to the detention floor. Leave us alone.
Yeah.
We're just droids.
And it's like, oh, my comm, I turned it off. And then saves them just in time.
Eventually
R2 turns
R2
it off.
does,
And it's
and-
like, oh my god, they're dying.
Yeah, the triumphant cheers. So good.
It's got no idea.
But
So
they let him
you're
out.
in cyborg relations. Can't read emotion clearly through the loudspeaker.
Oh, we skipped the stormtrooper head donk. So an original mistake in the film, but they love it so much now that they've gone back in one of the many re-edits and added a donk sound effect to really
As you should.
emphasize. I agree.
Take over.
Donk,
very good.
donk, donk, donk.
And they even do like a reference to it in Attack of the Clones. Boba Fett hits his head when he, Jango Fett hits his head when he's going into his spaceship as like a nod to it. Those clones, they're awful.
Yeah, they suck. Yeah, the tractor beam's been deactivated. Obi-Wan's got another beer. And we get like a little bit of like a shootout. I love sort of some of these engagement with like Han just pelting it down the hallway. And then, yeah, he's been hanging out with Chewie too long, and then turns around the corner. And is like, ah! There's just way too many stormtroopers
It's
in
an
the room.
army of stormtroopers. It's awesome. I
And
love
turns
that
and then
part.
quickly back the other way. He's like, wrong way.
Something too that's really cool about the Death Star, all the use of like matte paintings. The most obvious example is probably when Obi-Wan is turning off the tractor beam and as it falls away. Again, probably something that since the original has been re-edited and things have been added in, but it looks great. It looks really good. So those kinds of re-edits and touch-ups on effects, I don't mind, because you can't even really tell if it is being touched up or if it's just the original effects. So yeah, that's all good, but it's the weird creatures that I'm not a fan of.
Yeah, I get it. It's fair.
We get the famous Luke and Leia swing,
Yes.
trying to escape the stormtrooper.
And it's all Mark Hamill and Carrie Fisher. No stunt doubles for this bad boy.
Nah, and they proved it on Mythbusters that you could do it.
It's pretty sick.
It is cool. I really like it. A little kiss on the cheek,
Yeah.
because they hadn't established at this point that they were brother and sister.
No, and very much the fact that Luke is crushing hard on Leia as well.
it-
I forgot
it's
how
more
bad
so.
it was.
It's more so when they get back in the Millennium Falcon.
That
but-
he's like, yeah, we'll get there. We'll get there. But now we get, like, I guess, the other iconic scene, which is just next to it very conveniently.
Yes.
And we get Obi-Wan and Vader facing off. And it is one of the more iconic scenes, I think, not only just in this film, but the entire franchise.
So, something I wanted to say about this. I
Go
know
on.
it's a slow fight.
Still good, though.
It's great. It's really good. But I think sometimes where this film doesn't get the love that it deserves is that people go, oh, it doesn't have any like cool lightsaber battles. Like lightsaber battles, especially in the Skywalker saga, are synonymous with Star Wars.
Yep.
And to have fast-paced ones and them to get more and more elaborate as they go on, that's what people then go, oh, that's really cool. I want to see that. And I totally get that, especially for a younger audience. But now, as a more mature audience, looking at this, I really appreciate how slow it is. I appreciate that it's about like the tension building.
It feels incredibly tense,
the gravity behind the fact that these guys were friends and knowing that having watched the later films, but also the fact that Obi-Wan is tired and he's beaten down and he knows he probably can't win this. And Vader, he's teasing him and he's like taunting him. And you see that in the style of fighting as well. They have done some re-edits and fan edits, like with special effects and stuff, and some of them look a little janky, but there are some really cool reimaginings of this fight as well. I'll put some clips and stuff in, but as slow as it is, it's so impactful, and I love the tension building up, like that sense of dread when you know something bad's going to happen.
100%, and I think particularly as well when they start getting some onlookers, because they're getting watched by Luke and everyone else. And I love the way that the soundtrack drops out. And it's just the clash of the lightsabers and just watching it. And again, it adds to that tension, the fact that we're getting this dialogue between the two characters about, the circle is complete. Now I am when I left, so I was the apprentice. Now I am the master. I'm the master of evil, Darth. There's one bit I really love about this is that like Alec Guinness is like, I'm going to call Darth Vader like Darth's his first name.
Yeah.
Which they don't do, obviously, in the prequels. It'd be like, Vader or Sidious or Maul or whatever it is. But it's just like, first name Darth, second name Vader. All right, I'm going to call you Darth, mate. We've got a great relationship over time. And
strike me down and I will only become more powerful than you could
ever imagine.
Possibly imagine?
Possibly imagine that. So.
We really butchered that. But we did it together, man. Yeah. Anyway, so he does take him up on that offer. He's like, okay.
Okay.
Strikes him down.
Yeah.
I like the disappearing effect here.
No! Sounds like Christopher Walken.
No.
The quick little shootout, very similar to Mos Eisley, but they escape. But also not much time to mourn because they need to basically man the gunships.
Yep. The camaraderie here. Luke getting so excited to have hit one. I got one.
I got him! Great kid! Don't get cocky!
I always used to think Han would say, don't get car keys.
Don't get car keys, kid.
I didn't understand what cocky meant. Obviously,
don't wear a cocky, kid.
Don't wear a cocky. Don't wear a khaki. Oh no, you're Steve Irwin. What's happened? Oh, he's been wearing beige the entire time. Luke, you bastard.
Ridiculous.
But they cut them all down and they escape. But realistically, then I haven't really escaped because they've put a tracking device on the Falcon.
That they have.
And
it was too easy, and even Leia knows, but she does nothing about it.
Yeah, it's like, anyway, let's go back to the Rebel base.
And this is where we get the awkwardness of Luke and Han both like fawning over Leia.
Forgot how much Luke was crushing on Leia in this. That's my note. It's like, do you think a princess and a guy like me? No. But hey, princess and a guy like me, I'm a bloody Skywalker, hey? Hey, I'm Luke over here.
Lukey.
I'm Skywalking here.
Yes. Nice. Did you write that down? Or was that was off the cuff? That was good.
I'm Skywalking.
Skywalking here. Nice.
But they arrive on Yavin 4.
Yavin 4.
There's a bit of a briefing, but the Imperials have found them, and they're basically getting into range. And General Dodonna is cooking, outlining what the plan is going to be.
Dodonna kebab?
Dodonna kebab, yeah, he's cooking them kebabs.
Yeah.
And just literally on the side of the meeting. That's the other ad, though. They've moved from selling beer to Dodonna kebabs. But they outline the fact that actually there's a weakness in the Death Star, and a small single-man fighter could basically get into the trench, fire off a couple of proton torpedoes, and blow the whole thing. Let's go home. So,
no bigger than a bloody womp rat. Han's leaving. He's packing up. He's got his reward and he's going.
And Luke's like, I'm not angry. I'm just disappointed. That's basically the energy.
The classic mum energy from Luke. But he runs into his old friend
Biggs Darklighter.
Bloody Biggs.
What a name, Biggs Darklighter.
Yeah.
And then it's like,
aren't you a little Biggs for a stormtrooper?
Good. That's excellent.
But
imagine that was the reveal. It's not Luke. It's Biggs Darklighter. But they love the fact that they're like, I've got so much to tell you. Don't worry, we'll talk about
it later.
Ooh. Crispy, Owen, and Baru. We're back again.
But as suspected, if they're flying close enough to the Death Star, their cannons can't really do much.
No, the turbo lasers and the trench guns aren't really doing much.
So they send in some TIE fighters.
And we get a dogfight.
And even Vader comes in.
Because he realizes that a few of the fighters are kind of like doing something else. There might be a bit of a distraction
Never send a boy to do a man's job, he says.
No, you send a Wedge to do a man's job. So you get Wedge Antilles, one of my favorite characters in Star Wars. Basically, outside of Luke, the best pilot in there. That's why he sort of starts Rogue Squadron and all this sort of stuff in the extended universe and in the games and everything. It's great. But yeah, Vader enters the fray, and then we get the stay on target, and then we get the one guy who basically like, it's away! Oh, Paul Porkins.
Porkins gets it.
Pour one out for Porkins. But the other guy is like, it's away! And he misses. Sorry, guys. Sorry to get your hopes up that the movie was finished.
Oopsies.
Oopsie-doopsies.
But yeah, they start getting knocked off. So Porkins is the first to go, but then they lose another and another. Pretty much the whole Gold Squad goes in the Y fighters.
Yeah, pretty. There's no bombers left. So Biggs, Wedge, and Luke head into the trench.
Yep.
I love the way the score builds during this scene. It's fantastic. Unfortunately, Wedge is damaged, not out of it, so he can come back in a later film.
Yep. He's just like, I'm out.
That's fine. And it's like, you can do no more here, Wedge. Like, get out of here. And it's like, don't worry, I'll be back. But Biggs is taken down, so Luke loses his friend. So they're not going to get an opportunity to swap those stories.
No, and he doesn't really care too. Once the battle is over, he's just like, ha, we did it. Who cares about Biggs?
Just like in the corner. Oh, Biggs.
Oh, Biggs.
Oh, Biggs.
But he's under fire, and it's not looking good for old Luke. But
no, Vader's got him in his sights.
Who comes in with a triumphant Yahoo! Bloody Han Solo in the Millennium Falcon.
He is. He comes back, saves the day. He blasts another TIE fighter, it kind of spins out and knocks Vader, who's going to go spinning out.
How funny does that look?
Yeah, and because they didn't, a lot of the studio execs didn't like it, and the way that's what they were going to leave Vader going out, because they kind of didn't like sequel baiting, basically. It was like, well, he's going to come back eventually, because they weren't sure, obviously, what was going to happen.
Who's ever going to want to make a sequel to Star Wars?
Or focus on this character and pretty much give them an entire 3 movies of plot development in the prequels.
And then come up with contrived ways to bring them back in TV shows. Anyway, so Luke puts away his navigation system, his targeting computer, as Obi-Wan guides him.
Just in time, basically. Pretty much as the turbo laser is starting.
I love the sound.
And his relief is like, and then they basically go, let's blow this thing and go home.
Blow this popsicle stand.
And that's what they do. They blow up the Death Star just as it's about to fire in a spectacular explosion.
It's a triumphant death for Tarkin. He goes down with the ship.
It really does. Great shot, kid. It was 1 in a million. And yeah, the Force will be with you. Always.
And also with you.
And they all celebrate.
They do.
R2's a bit beaten up.
We'll get there. 2 films time.
I was going to say.
One of your faves.
Oh, Return. Yeah, it's good.
That's the Ewok song. The original Ewok song.
It's on the back of my t-shirt. But yeah, I've just written gang presentation because they're all dollied up.
Yep.
They're both flirting with Leia. Han with a cheeky little wink.
Yep. I love Luke's jacket. That yellow jacket's nice.
It's pretty clean.
They both get medals, but of course Chewie doesn't get a medal.
Justice for Chewie.
Yeah, wow.
Release the Chewie card.
I'm so glad that in The Rise of Skywalker, Maz Kanata gives Chewie a medal, because all that time I was really upset about it. So I was so glad that they finally righted that wrong.
Anyway, that's the end of Star Wars.
And then we end.
On to the sequels. Yeah, that's what happens. And yeah, that's the first film in the Star Wars franchise, which is pretty wild.
One of my faves, if not my fave. I think when we did our rival rankings, it was sitting in top. But as I said to you, Empire and A New Hope, neck and neck. So it could really go either way.
This isn't my top film. It never has been. I prefer its 2 sequels and the last of its prequels, which is why Episode 4 sits in number 4, I believe, for me. Actually, yeah, that's accurate. Check out our rankings if you don't
For me,
believe
it's just the chemistry with the characters.
That's fair.
If you look at Empire and you look at Return of the Jedi, there's too much like splitting off and doing their own little quests.
This is the main time we get the big 3 together.
Yeah, and essentially they're arguing the whole film, but it's so fun.
It's so fun. It's such good arguing.
Arguing and flirting. That's all they're doing.
It's the spice of life.
Alrighty, so thank you very much for the suggestion, or the votes, really.
I mean, we're always going to do Star Wars.
We're going to do Star Wars.
Unfortunately, my Year 7 class weren't entirely able to pull through and get Attack of the Clones happening, so it's okay.
My Year 12s really came through.
That's okay. My Year 7s all get detentions. It's fine. Only joking, kids. You won't happen.
Just one of you. You know who you are.
That's how close it was. You know who you are.
But a big, big thank you to Sharky once again for his intro to the pod and
As
his
always.
unwavering enthusiasm for
Play
all
the
things
clip
Star
again,
Wars.
Mr. Brown.
Hey, it's Sharky again. I love Star Wars.
Yeah,
You do.
Yeah,
Okay,
you do.
we remember. All right, shall we move on to weekly watches?
Yes.
Weekly watches. Weekly watches. I love you.
So, we have not done weekly watches for
So.
quite some time. Little mask reference there. Stanley Ipkiss. We have not done weekly watches for a while, and we've had a holiday break in the meantime. So,
And we watched some things on over the break.
we watched a lot of things over the break. So if you do want to see our full catalogue, you can definitely jump onto our letterbox to check those out.
Yes.
But we're just going to talk about a couple that stood out today. So one that I want to mention is actually Wolves, the new Brad Pitt, George Clooney flick. It's just good fun.
Okay.
Like it's not an incredible film, but their charm goes a long way. It really does have that same energy that they had back in the original Ocean's 11 film.
Love.
The banter back and forth, the kind of fact that they start as rivals and they're riffing off each other, but
Okay,
then they
yep.
get closer as it goes on. It's all good fun. And the plot is very silly. And to be honest, the plot doesn't really matter.
Okay.
Like-
it's just a vehicle for these two.
Exactly right. It's just them on screen with the directors saying, and go. And it's great. It's really, really good fun. So highly recommend checking out Wolves.
Speaking of fun movies, I'm going to talk about a film that we watched together, Mr. Brown. That's Ricochet.
Pew, 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 pew.
Yes, the bullets were going all over the place.
Like a trash compactor.
No, truly. This is a bit of fun.
Oh, it's nuts. It is a crazy film.
And directed by Russell Mulcahy, who directed Razorback, which is a really awesome, like Aussie sort of like an Ozploitation horror film about a Razorback pig. It's just great. I love Razorback. It's great. He also directed Highlander as well. But Ricochet is just crazy.
So a little bit of context. I'd seen it before, and you came over, and I recommended watching it, thinking it was like this really serious, thrilling suspense film.
I mean, it was thrilling.
Yeah, but it's not serious.
It wasn't
as soon as we
serious at all.
put it on, we were like, what is happening here? It might have been one, like in the opening scene when Denzel Washington shimmied out of his clothes for a negotiation, a hostage situation, that we went, oh, I see what this kind of film is.
This is pulpy. It's over the top. It's like very, like, it's got a bit of like Brian De Palma vibes about it.
Yes.
Yeah, this is my type of movie.
Real
like
cheesy dialogue.
late
though.
80s, early 90s, that like sweet pocket of like thriller films or action films, and it's just great. Denzel's in it, like early Denzel, who's just chewing scenery as Denzel does in the best way possible. He's basically like an up-and-coming cop who busts John Lithgow, and then John Lithgow's character goes to jail and spends the entire time plotting his revenge of taking down
Coming up with witty
Denzel.
quips.
Oh, so many that we can't repeat on this podcast.
No, wildly inappropriate.
Incredibly so, but damn funny. As Denzel rises to more and more prominent jobs in the law enforcement, and then Lithgow gets out and basically tries to make his life a living hell. And it's just ridiculous.
It's
Ice-T's
such
in
an
it.
elaborate plan.
Ice-T's in it.
Yes.
We love Ice-T. I'll go back to back and just talk about my next one and my solitary visit to the cinema over the break. Usually I try to go a bit more, but nothing was really grabbing me, and also just time-wise it got away from me a little bit. But I went and saw A Complete Unknown, the Bob Dylan biopic. It was really good fun. I highly enjoyed it. It wasn't like excellent, like 5-star, oh my God, go see it, but it was really good, well made.
Oh my God, go see
Oh my
it.
God, A Complete Unknown with Timothy Chalamet and Bob Dylan and like a Rolling Stone. Timothy Chalamet is just really damn good in it. Like, he's really, really good in it. James Mangold's direction's great. I really like the costuming and set design putting it in that time period. All of the other characters who are playing, like Joan Baez, Johnny Cash, everyone like really brings it, and the music stuff, which, you know, hopefully for a music biopic, the music scenes are good, and they are. Like, all the characters sing really well. I've been listening to a lot of the soundtrack. Like, the performances are really good, but I just didn't feel like I was left with any like, oh, I'm feeling like, you know, I've got such a really good insight into the story of Bob Dylan or anything like that. But I guess that sort of lends to him. He's a bit of sort of a vagabond, I guess, as well. But I'd really recommend watching it. Timothée Chalamet was really brilliant. I'm really enjoying the choices that he's making at the moment. Worth watching. A Complete Unknown, basically, for his performance alone.
Nice. I'm going to talk about Ben Schwartz and Friends. Went and saw it on the weekend. Live comedy show, improv show. It was his final performance. So rather than running,
he's retiring.
No, final performance in Melbourne. Rather than running with one suggestion for both acts, he did the first act based on a couple of suggestions from the crowd, and then lathered, rinsed, and repeated for the second act. Really fun, really, really good. If you've seen Middleditch and Schwartz, it was a similar format to that. Maybe a little more sketch-based, so it was still long-form improv, but they didn't link it as much. It wasn't like a prolonged storyline like Middleditch and Schwartz, just kind of linked themes and characters between some of the sketches. But there were some wild suggestions from the crowd, and you could tell he was like, oh my God, what am I going to do with this? But he rolled with it. So basically what the prompt was tell us something that, tell us about the best day of your life. And someone put their hand up and said that they weren't invited to their sister-in-law's bachelorette party. And he was like, okay, how is that the best day? And they're like, we're going to get revenge. And he's like, oh, okay, so the best day was the day you got revenge. And they're like, no, we haven't done anything yet. He's like, oh, so what's your plan? Oh, well, we want some ideas from you. And he's like, no, you're supposed to give us the ideas. It was like drawing blood from the stone. And eventually he was able to get something out of them that they could make a performance out of. But
love that.
So good, a very cohesive group. You see lots of different formats of improv and also different styles within performers. Mm-hmm. One thing that was really good about this group is they were all really supportive. So you could see them like backing each other. Sometimes improvisers hog, and that's great and it's entertaining. But it's also nice to see everyone having like a good time and helping each other out as well.
Love it.
And that was the dynamic here. So
nice.
Ben Schwartz and Friends. If he comes back to Melbourne, definitely check him out.
Shall. Next one for me, I'll keep things on the Star Wars track very quickly because obviously I've spoken at length how this is my favourite Star Wars film, but I went to go see Revenge of the Sith, the 20th anniversary screening.
Like that one?
I really, really do. It was really good to see this in cinemas again. It'd obviously been a really long time. I hadn't seen it in cinemas since its original 2005 run. The prequels will always hold, I think, a little bit more weight to me because they feel like they're my movies rather than the movies that my parents have shared with me.
Did everybody cheer for Hello There?
Oh, this is why it was so much fun. Some of the best audience engagement I've had during a screening of any movie. It felt like I was back watching a Marvel movie.
That's good.
Like cheering so many, like obviously that dialogue is cheesy as all hell and there's so many memes, particularly from Revenge of the Sith. One of the things that I really appreciate about Revenge of the Sith now is that a lot of the people who don't like it have kind of aged out. And the people who grew up with these films are the loudest voices now, and we just spend a really good time celebrating how good and how much fun we had with these movies, and particularly how much fun we had with these performers. Like, obviously, Ewan McGregor kills it as Obi-Wan Kenobi. Some of his delivery is great. Hello There got a huge cheer.
Nice.
So many other things as well, like Another Happy Landing, and just This Is Where the Fun Begins got a huge one. But one of the things that like is probably the most important thing I think out of probably like the last few years, and particularly I will like obviously with Obi-Wan series and Ahsoka, is that I think that Hayden Christensen's finally getting his flowers for this role. That he got
That's nice.
absolutely blasted, at the time, and a lot of it was just because of the script that he was given. His performance, he really puts a lot into this character. He's the reason why I like the prequels so much. And it's really good to see like at all like the Star Wars celebration days in the last few years. It's like he's got really publicly celebrated to the point where he gets quite emotional sort of with the amount of support he gets. Because you could tell that like it kind of tanked his career for a while, a lot of the sort of public stuff that was happening with Star Wars and how kind of anti like sort of, him, the community was. But I think, like I said, a lot of those haters have sort of aged out now, and the people who are of age and stuff who are in their 30s now who really like his role are the ones who are the loudest ones in the forums and the louder ones in the community. So I really love Hayden Christensen as Anakin Skywalker, and that transition to Vader is fantastic. I will say I've never heard a louder audience cheer for a bunch of children about to be murdered.
Yeah.
When he flicks on the lightsaber blade after "There's too many of the Master Skywalker. What are we going to do?" And yeah, it's that got an almighty cheer, like, oh yeah,
Kill those kids! Woo!
It was really like that. And even like the do it, or I am the Senate, and you have the tragedy, and so many cheers. It was just so it was such a euphoric cinematic experience to go see this film, and it just
nice to see Palpatine's big old bloomers when he falls back on that chair on the big screen.
So good, big bloomers. That's what they call him. I think it just reestablished why I love this film so much and why it is my favorite Star Wars film. And I'm happy for people to fire me on it. That's fine, but this is my favorite film, not yours.
Fair enough. Last for me, I'm going to talk about it's kind of like a production company, Starkid Productions. So Starkid Productions. For anyone who hasn't heard of them, their most recognizable show was a Harry Potter musical. So this is a group that basically writes and performs their own shows, but one thing that's pretty unique about them, or at least it was at the time when they first were developing, is they would film their shows and they would put their shows on YouTube for free. And so people could watch them and consume them. And they have gotten this huge following over time and made some pretty high quality ones in the last few years. So now instead of a little handy cam, they have properly recorded shows in terms of video recording, but also properly mixed shows as well. So when you watch it, it is a very high quality production. And so I have watched a bunch of them. And the mistake I probably made was starting with some of the more modern ones and going back to the older ones, because now it's a little bit harder. You watch a Harry Potter musical and it's like watching a high school production of something that some aunt filmed on her.
You're doing great, sweetie.
Yeah, exactly like that. The camera moves with the applause and stuff like this. So I probably made a faux pas in doing it that way, but some of the modern ones are awesome. My absolute favorite is one called Nerdy Prudes Must Die, a slasher musical where in the first act, a bunch of teenagers accidentally kill their bully, but they kill him on the burial site of a ghost.
Classic.
And he then rises from the grave in Act 2 and comes back as a zombie demon and tries to hunt down all the nerds. It's just wild.
That's fun.
Yeah, but what's great about it too is you start to get to know the casts of these shows, and even though they may not be in every single show, you're going to know about 80% of them from each one because they mix around and they're such a tight-knit group. And they don't just perform in it, but often the performers are the choreographers or the performers do the music for the show or whatever it might be. So yeah, just really cool and some very fun behind the scenes details about how the company has developed over time. And as someone who does a lot of writing of my own shows and films and stuff like that, it's a really cool and quite inspiring story of just a bunch of people who wanted to do something and now they have this huge following. It's very cool. So check them all out. They're all on YouTube. Starkid Productions. My fave, Nerdy Prudes Must Die, or The Guy Who Doesn't Like Musicals.
I've got to check it out.
Yeah, very fun.
Last one for me for watchers is a sequel. It's a horror movie. I had to sneak one in there. It's Smile 2. And I know that you don't really like the first Smile movie.
More like Frown, am I right?
This is so good. This is one of the best sequels of definitely in the horror space that I've seen.
Whoa, that is a huge call.
Yeah.
You also didn't love Smile 1, right?
I didn't. I liked it. I didn't love it, but this is just blows it out of the water. I think Smile 1 had some cool ideas. This movie expands on it, and it's generally one of the more technically brilliant horror films that I've seen. Okay. Some really incredible practical effects, really good digital work, really good stunt work as well, really just impressive camera work and like, hey, that's really good cinematography regardless of what genre this film exists in. And really good performances. I think Naomi Scott, who plays Sky Riley, who's the main character, so the person who gets the smile demon passed on them is like a pop star who's like a recovering addict, who like is in a car crash with her boyfriend, who's played by Ray Nicholson, who, you know, if you had to think of a character with a creepy smile.
Yeah, you said everything's expanded in this film. The smile would have been expanded because that boy can grin from ear to ear.
Exactly, just like his daddy. The way that, like, it makes sense that she's going to be a person who's targeted by this demon and made to feel like paranoid about what's going on. It really makes sense in the world. She also sings because she is a singer, Naomi Scott, and like the choreography they do for the dance numbers and everything like that. It's just really cool. Like, there's really good imagery, really good ideas, really good like side performances from like the supporting cast, like Dylan Galula, who's in Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt, is really good in like the minutes that she has. You got Ray Nicholson. Lucas Gage is quite good in it as well. Rosemary DeWitt. Like, there's really good sort of like little side characters in here that pop up every now and again. But no, A Smile 2 absolutely rips. It's like generally probably one of the, I reckon, like the handful of best films that I've sat and watched this year. And yeah, I really recommend watching it. I think that it comfortably would rank as one of the best horror movies of the last few years, I think. And I'm just really interested to see what Parker Finn, as a director, I think he'll probably. He could do a third film. I wouldn't mind it and like push things, but I just want to see him do some other stuff now because I'm really excited by him as a filmmaker.
Yeah, nice. Yeah. Awesome. That's all yours?
That's all mine.
Oh,
Gonna match it up?
Let us move on to movie mashups.
They did the mash,
They did the movie
the
mash.
movie mash.
It's like a plot theme
They
smash.
did the mash,
It might turn out
they
trash.
did the mash.
They did the movie mash.
We will take it in turns to read out pitches for existing movies with a slight twist based on the theme of the week. Now, the goal is to guess the new mashup title, which should be a play on words. Now, because we watched A New Hope today, our theme is Star Wars in general. It's broad, it is very broad, a whole galaxy of puns to choose from. For example, if I was describing the film about an up-and-coming Jedi who goes to secondary school, you might say the film was called Skywalker High. No good?
There's a fair one to have as the intro one, I think.
Oh, yeah, it's not even on the paper. I made it look like I was reading it. Look, because we watched Looney Tunes back in action this week, that's why it was
You're
so
peeking behind the
clumsy.
curtain.
I was just riffing.
I was like-
just riffing. All right, well, let me do a proper one for you.
Kicks off.
In order to escape prison, a wise old man fakes insanity and is shifted to a special ward for the mentally unstable, where he walks around in a long robe. The ward is completely controlled by an unfeeling nurse who uses the Force to intimidate the patients. The man rebels against her, mentoring all the other patients almost as their master.
Well, I know what this is because it's on mine as
Done
well.
it! We've done it!
It's Obi-Wan Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
Woo! Give me a second to play the track. Should have had that ready to go. Clumsy, clumsy, clumsy.
So my description was like when a prisoner is transferred from a farm to a mental institution, he gets stuck saying hello there to many interesting characters, and a nurse rules the ward with a forceful iron fist.
That is
Our protagonist
really
must
good.
endure and engage in a battle of wills due to his allegiance to democracy and growing care for his fellow patients.
Nice. A double up.
Straight off
Ooh.
the bat.
I wonder if we'll have other double ups. You
Maybe.
go for it.
Okay. In this 90s comedy, a lawyer develops their career on not telling the truth, continually curling things into knots before his son's royal wish forces him to tell the truth, and his conviction is his only hope.
Curling things?
Yes.
And royal wish.
And the only hope. You know what movie it is?
Oh, is it Leia?
He's got it!
Oh, Leia. That is good. Alrighty. When four friends end up losing money to a gangster in a card game, they are forced to conduct a heist to save themselves. They set up technical operations with all the bells and whistles. listening and recording a message before rolling in at the last minute to steal their score from their own attempted robbery.
It's Lock, Stock, isn't it?
It is Lock,
So,
Stock.
so Lock, Stock, and R2 Smoking Barrels?
He's done it!
Oh! That was much bigger than the last time you put Lock, Stock in.
Nosferatu Smoking Barrels.
Classic. When a London super cop starts putting the rest of the police force to shame, he's thrown out in the cold and into a country town where he sees an icy reception as he begins to uncover the ton of town secrets.
Okay, is it Hoth Fuzz?
He's got it! Oh! On fire.
We are flying through this. Alrighty. A teenager accidentally travels back to the 50s and makes the Wookiee mistake of changing things, preventing his parents from falling in love. He must find a way to reignite their spark and get back to his own time, or he will cease to exist.
We've got another double up.
Another double up! Wham! Boom, boom, wham!
It is Chewbacca to the future.
He's done it! Oh! Double ups up the wazoo.
Yeah, I said in this sci-fi classic, a young man accidentally travels back in time to 1955, where a hairy adventure ensues involving young characters' parents, an otherworldly school dance, and a roaring good time as their protagonist tries to get back to his own timeline. So yeah,
very good.
Love that. Double up.
Would you like to go again? Because
Sure.
of the double ups.
When a young boy starts to be affected by a dark secret, he converses with his psychologist about what he sees and how his fear could lead to anger, his anger could lead to hate, and that could lead to suffering, before ending with a plot twist that hits like a crack of force lightning.
Oh, yes. All right. It is. Oh, okay. So.
You got the movie?
Is it an M. Night Shyamalan Ding Dong movie?
Absolutely.
Okay,
Ding
so I
dong.
got the movie. I thought the word was going to be like Anakin. Okay, sorry. Can I hear some of the clues again?
So
'Cause
a
fear
dark
leads to
secret?
anger. Yeah.
So his fear could lead to anger, his anger could lead to hate. That could lead to suffering.
Oh, is it the Sith sense?
He's got it!
Oh! After his beloved passes away, a vampire draped in a long black cape puts his love on hold for several years until he employs Jonathan Harker and forms an unhealthy obsession with his fiancée. Believing she is his reincarnated wife, he draws her in with his hypnotic hand gestures and takes her breath away.
So obviously it's Brammy.
This is less about a character, more about the action. Hypnotic hand gestures that take her breath away.
Is it Bram Choker's Dracula?
He's done it! Oh!
Really wasn't sure about that one.
Nice.
Perfect. All right, this is my last one.
Alrighty.
Okay. After falling in love with a struggling artist, they start a tragic but beautiful ship cruising through the galaxy of the music industry while he deals with alcoholism, personal demons, and the dark side of his loved one's fame. We got a third trip double up.
Mine's slightly different, but it's pretty much. I won't even bother reading mine out. But is it A Star Destroyer is Born?
We've done it!
Oh! So mine is A Death Star is Born.
Okay.
So I had, in a film that gets remade every decade or so, a musician falls in love with a struggling artist, getting caught in her charming tractor beam. He convinces her to follow her dreams while he battles his alcoholism and personal demons that loom over him like a super weapon. All right, my last one. Woo! This is a tricky one.
Okay. All right, I'm buckling up.
Set in the 1860s during the Civil War, this epic focuses on a Southern belle who lives on a plantation in Georgia. She can't make up her mind in love, swooning over a married man and drifting further and further from her own bearded husband, leaving him feeling rejected like he has been stabbed in the gut. When she finally realizes she does care for him and confesses her love, he replies, "Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn," and completely ghosts her.
Is it Qui-Gon with the wind?
He's done it! Oh!
We cooked.
That is a clean sweep with almost 3 double-ups.
Incredible.
Very, very good.
The
Well
Force
done,
was
my
with
friend.
us. The Force was with us today.
Absolutely it was. As always, guys, please do remember to like, subscribe, share it around. If you're a big Star Wars fan, you've got 2 other full eps that you can check out. 2. And I also re-released our ranking video of the entire Star Wars franchise just last week. So catch up on that as well. And tell us what you agree with, what you disagree with. Who are you closer to? I reckon you're going to have more fans amongst you. With our viewers, the younger audience.
I don't mind the prequels.
They don't mind the prequels, but they might not mind the sequels either. In which case, you'll be right out of here.
You won't like either of us. You won't be close to any of us.
But on that note, guys, may the Force be with you. Thanks very much, and catch you at the next film club.
And also with you.